Did you know that over 40% of Canadians fail their driving test on the first try? Yep, almost half of new drivers walk out of that testing center feeling defeated. But here's the shocking part. Most of them didn't fail because they didn't know how to drive. They failed because of nerves, mindset, and tiny habits they didn't even realize mattered. So if your heart races every time you think about test day, you're not alone. But what if passing wasn't about being the perfect driver at all, and instead about mastering a calm, confident focus that examiners instantly notice? Stay with me, because in this video, I'll show you exactly how to do that, step by step, anywhere in Toronto, Vancouver, or Calgary. Number 1. Understand the test structure. Before you even get behind the wheel, it's important to understand what you're walking into, because every province in Canada structures its driving tests a little differently. In Ontario, for example, cities like Toronto and Mississauga follow a 3-stage system. You start with the G1, then move up to G2, and finally earn your full G license. Each step is designed to gradually test how well you can handle real-world situations, from basic rules and signs to full highway confidence. Over in British Columbia, including Vancouver, the system looks a bit different. You'll move from the N novice stage to the Class 5 license. And if you're in Alberta and cities like Calgary or Edmonton, you'll go from Class 7 learner's permit to Class 5 full license. Now here's the part most people overlook. The structure itself is not meant to intimidate you. It's actually designed to measure your ability to drive independently and responsibly. The examiner isn't sitting there hoping you'll mess up. They're quietly checking if you can drive safely without anyone's help. That's the entire purpose. Once you understand that logic, the pressure starts to fade. You realize this isn't a test of perfection, it's a test of confidence under calm control. Think of your driving test the same way you'd approach an important meeting or presentation. You can know every detail of your notes, but if you show up flustered, the message won't land. The same goes here. Composure, awareness, and calm reactions often impress examiners far more than textbook precision. The drivers who pass aren't always the most skilled. They're the ones who stay cool, adapt fast, and prove they can handle the road without losing focus. Number 2. Pre-test preparation. Before you even turn the ignition, the real test begins. And it starts with your mindset. One of the most effective ways to steady your nerves is through what I call the calm focus method. It's simple but powerful. Take 5 minutes before your test to do slow, controlled breathing. In through your nose for 4 seconds, hold for 4, and out through your mouth for 6. This isn't just a relaxation trick. Studies from universities like Harvard and Stanford have shown that slow breathing can improve cognitive focus, sharpen reaction time, and lower cortisol levels, the hormone responsible for stress. In other words, 5 minutes of focused breathing can make your brain respond faster and keep your hands steady, even when your heart's racing. Then comes the physical preparation. You might be surprised to learn that even mild sleep deprivation can reduce alertness and decision-making speed by nearly 20%, the same effect as being slightly impaired. So aim for a full night's rest before your test. It's not just about feeling awake, it's about giving your brain the clarity to respond quickly to what's happening on the road. And don't overlook your meal. Go light. A heavy breakfast or lunch can make you sluggish and sleepy. Think protein and hydration, not pancakes and coffee overload. Finally, handle the practical side. Have your license, test booking confirmation, vehicle ownership papers, and proof of insurance ready to go. In some cities, like Vancouver, testing centers require you to arrive earlier for check-in, while in places like Toronto or Calgary, the process is usually faster but still strict about timing. Preparation here means less panic later. Because when you eliminate small stresses before you even start the car, you give yourself the best chance to perform at your calm, confident best. Number 3. Pre-test preparation. Imagine losing points before you've even left the parking lot, just because your brake light didn't work. It happens more often than you'd think, and it's one of those small details that can cost you big time. Before your driving test begins, the examiner is already observing you, not just how you drive, but how you prepare to drive. That's why doing a quick pre-test vehicle check is absolutely essential. Start with your mirrors. Adjust both the rear view and side mirrors so you have full visibility. Then check your lights and signals. Make sure your brake lights, headlights, and indicators are all working properly. Don't forget your horn, seatbelt, and tires, small things that show you're safety conscious and ready for the road. Examiners often say that they can tell who's going to perform well within the first minute, not because of driving skill, but because of awareness. When they see you take the time to check your surroundings, fasten your seatbelt carefully, and glance around before moving, it sends a message. You're not rushing, you're in control. And that impression can set the tone for the entire test. Here's a unique trick many experienced drivers swear by. Do your own mini inspection right before the test. Walk around your car, take a deep breath, and check those key items. It's not just about avoiding lost points, it's about grounding yourself. That brief moment of inspection helps you mentally connect with your vehicle, calm your nerves, and ease into a focused mindset. Think of it as your personal pre-flight check. Pilots do it for every flight, not because they doubt their aircraft, but because it builds confidence and consistency. You're doing the same thing, preparing yourself to perform your best before the test. Number 4. Vehicle check. Once you're on the road, the real evaluation begins, and this is where calm awareness makes all the difference. Examiners pay close attention to how well you observe and scan your surroundings, especially at intersections. It's not enough to glance left and right. They're looking for deliberate, visible checks, eyes moving, mirrors glancing, quick shoulder looks. This tells them you're actively processing the road, not just reacting to it. Smoothness is equally important. Keep your acceleration and braking steady, avoiding sudden movements that suggest panic or distraction. When changing lanes, signal early, check mirrors, do a shoulder check, and glide gently into the next lane. Timing is key here. Examiners notice when you plan your moves versus when you rush them. Maintain your following distance using the classic 2-second rule. Pick a stationary object, like a lamppost, and make sure 2 full seconds pass between the car ahead passing it and you reaching it. This shows mature, defensive driving, the kind every examiner wants to see. Picture this. You're driving through Toronto's Etobicoke testing route, approaching a quiet intersection. The examiner watches your head movements. You look both ways, check your mirror, and ease into the turn smoothly. Hands steady, no jerky movements. Or imagine you're in Calgary's Northeast Test Center, handling wide suburban turns with a calm grip, adjusting your speed slightly for each curve. These are the moments that build examiner confidence in you. And here's a mindset shift that can transform your test. Treat the examiner like a passenger, not a judge. Your goal isn't to impress them, it's to make them feel safe. When you drive as if you're taking a friend home after dinner, your tone changes. You're calmer, smoother, and naturally more confident, exactly what they're looking for. Number 5. During the test. Let's talk about the most common mistakes that cost people their driving test, the ones that seem small but add up fast. First up, the rolling stop. It's when you slow down at a stop sign but never fully stop. Your wheels are still creeping forward. Examiners catch this instantly because it shows a lack of control and awareness. Always make a complete, deliberate stop, even if the road looks clear. Next is forgetting shoulder checks, especially when changing lanes or turning. This simple habit is one of the biggest fail reasons in cities like Toronto and Calgary, where blind spots are a major concern. The examiner wants to see you physically turn your head. It's proof that you're checking for cyclists or hidden cars, not just relying on mirrors. Then there's speeding in school zones, something that happens often when nerves take over. Even going a few kilometers over the limit can be an instant fail, particularly in areas like Vancouver, where testing routes often pass near schools and pedestrian crossings. Remember, speed control is about judgment, not just precision. Finally, watch out for overconfidence or panic when correcting mistakes. Many people make a small error, maybe they stop too early or forget a signal, and then overcompensate, creating a chain of new problems. The truth is, one small mistake won't fail you, but how you respond might. Here's the psychological insight most people miss. Driving tests are more about emotional control than technical perfection. Examiners know that no one drives flawlessly, but they're assessing how you recover and refocus after a slip. Most people fail because they let one small mistake spiral into 5. The calm, composed driver who resets instantly after an error, that's the one who usually walks away with a pass. Number 6. Common mistakes to avoid. When the test ends and you pull back into the parking lot, that's the moment your emotions start racing again, because now it's time for the results. If you pass, take a moment to really let it sink in. You've officially proven that you can drive safely and independently. That's no small thing. Celebrate it, but stay humble. Passing your test isn't just about getting your license. It's about earning trust. You're now part of a system built on responsibility, awareness, and respect for others on the road. Treat it as a new chapter, one that comes with freedom, yes, but also accountability every time you turn the key. But if you don't pass, take a breath. It's not a failure, it's feedback. Almost every skilled driver you know has failed at least once. The examiner's notes aren't a list of what you did wrong. They're a personalized roadmap of what to improve next time. Maybe your turns were too wide, or your observation was rushed. Whatever it is, those insights are productivity tools, not punishments. The smartest test takers treat that feedback like a performance review at work. Analyze it, fix what needs fixing, and come back stronger. Think of it this way. Every test, pass or fail, sharpens your self-awareness. Just like improving a work presentation or perfecting a home project, feedback helps you perform better next time. Each test gives you experience, and experience builds confidence. In Toronto, Vancouver, or Calgary, every examiner has seen people come back more prepared and composed after learning from their first attempt. So whether you leave with a new license or a new list of things to improve, you've still moved forward. Either way, you're one step closer to becoming the calm, capable driver you're meant to be. Number 7. After the test. Every Canadian city has its own driving rhythm, its tempo, its quirks, and its silent rules that only locals truly understand. In Toronto, for instance, the challenge isn't just the test itself, it's the constant movement. With dense traffic, unpredictable lane merges, and impatient drivers, confidence becomes your best ally. During your test, especially around areas like Etobicoke or Scarborough, examiners pay close attention to how you merge and adapt in heavy traffic. Hesitation can be as costly as aggression, so the key is balanced confidence. Smooth, steady movements that show you can handle city flow without panic or rush. Head west to Vancouver and the rhythm changes completely. Here, it's not just about traffic, it's about terrain and weather. Rain can start and stop within minutes, visibility can drop fast, and those steep hills in places like North Vancouver or Burnaby will test your control. Practicing in wet conditions isn't optional, it's essential. The examiner wants to see gentle braking, smooth steering, and proper hill starts. It's less about speed and more about adaptability, how you stay calm when nature decides to throw you a challenge mid-test. In Calgary, things feel more open. Wide suburban roads, fewer stoplights, and often higher speed limits. But that openness can be deceptive. Many test takers fail here by not adjusting their speed correctly or misjudging distance on long stretches. The trick is precision, maintaining consistent control while staying aware of changing zones and intersections. The truth is, each city has its rhythm, and learning to drive with it, not against it, makes all the difference. Toronto teaches you timing, Vancouver teaches you adaptability, and Calgary teaches you control. Mastering that local rhythm doesn't just help you pass the test, it shapes you into a driver who moves naturally with the flow of every road ahead. So, what about you? Which city are you taking your test in? And what part worries you most? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. And hey, if this helped you feel even a little more confident, go check out my previous video. It's packed with more smart, practical tips for Canadian drivers. We put a lot of time and effort into making these guides for you, so if you want to support the channel, just hit that subscribe button. It's one click, but it means the world to us. Remember, calm focus always beats nervous energy. You've got this.